Khupe is right, Chamisa is right. With the benefit of hindsight, most would believe mainstream opposition leaders ought to have made better decisions on various key issues dogging their parties and opposition politics in the country. Unlike ZANU-PF, the opposition MDCT enjoys the benefit of having most of their 1999 founding members still alive, who, seasoned in labor union activism, took the game a notch higher and shifted battlefronts to politics. Maybe labor activism is different from political playing, I don't know. If these two are different in nature, substance and protocol, the MDC veterans and office bearers must be applauded. They gave ZANU-PF a run for their money on first and subsequent contestations. Who can forget the sweet 2000 referendum? Vote no triumph. Who does not marvel at the 62 to 57 seats feat of the 2002 elections? How about the sweet 2008 first defeat of Mugabe since independence? The MDC did well despite obvious harsh environments. However, if labor activism and political gaming translate to more or less the same and therefore one, these veterans are flushing national aspirations down the gutters despite their scars in the trenches dating way before the MDC itself. The unfortunate incidence of it all is that regrettably, politics in Africa follows personalities. Fully knowing that a breakaway candidate has a zero chance in hell to win an election, some people will still vote for such candidate. Whether Zimbabweans have become strong believers in miracles or what, I think Prophet Sanyangore's antics are to blame. Tsvangirai 47%, Mugabe 43% and Mugoni 8% scenario of 2008 speaks true of this. Mathematics will prove that had Mugoni backed the MDC, them being friends by virtue of having the same enemy in Mugabe, history would have changed course. Arthur Mutambara knew Mugoni had zero chance of getting 50% plus one vote, but the opportunist professor went on to back Mugoni anyway, hence the 8%. The benefit of Mutambara under the GPA agreement which bore the GNU, has its own sins. I believe it was the start of what culminated in the 120 political parties we have today in Zimbabwe. Envious of Mutambara's opportunistic grand entry into government under the GNU, all these briefcase parties are poised to enter government through the same smooth way. Talking your way all the otherwise long rough road into government. What this means for serious political leaders is that breakaway activity hurts all and sundry. Not only through breakaways, but also the spiraling suspension and expelling of significant players. They not only go away with their cups and picture frames hanging in their offices, they go away with people. That is the politics on the ground. Madam Khupe is right. As an elected deputy at Congress, she drew her mandate directly from the people. This should have been respected by the National Council members and other leaders. While Tsvangirai could easily dismiss Chamisa and Matsuri, them both appointees, the same could not easily be done on Khupe without serious repercussions as her mandate and office was an electoral result of Congress. It is important to note also that National Council, itself holding powers of Congress and trust, authorized Tsvangirai to appoint a further vice president, not two, but one. What this means is that one between Chamisa and Matsuri is a creation of unauthorized action and therefore, ultra vires. Further, the argument raised by Khupe that she is a deputy president, not a vice president, brings debate into the fray on whether these two terms actually were meant to mean different things. The constitution of the MDCT must give direction, and with the MDC having so many lawyers, these clever big boys of Harare must speak up. Unless the contrary is proven, the constitutional and legitimate leader must surely be Madam Khupe. Khupe's dissatisfaction was mainly strained by the accommodation of an wholesale allocation of seats to Khupe in Matabeleland. On this too, Khupe's argument has all the fabric of correctness. There was absolutely nothing suicidal in forming alliances in other provinces except Matabeleland. The strategy and moral of forming alliances is to strengthen where there is no strength. The MDC is stronger in Matabeleland than most parts of the country, and this is the region that has consistently formed the bedrock of opposition politics in the country. Khupe has no single elected seat in this region, so what has he to bring on the table if the voters jumped ship from him? However, he has proven to be a formidable administrator and leader in his own right. Therefore, his accommodation within the alliance sought to have took narrow lines, specifically to tap into his skills in the leadership of the MDC alliance and in anticipation of forming the next government. The seats allocated to him are indeed a donation, undeserved. The same goes with BT. He is an able administrator, not politician. Mangoma is neither. The other briefcase parties in the alliance surely do not deserve a mention. Chamisa too, is right. In my previous article, MDC Succession, Heads or Tails? February 12, 2018, I submitted that though principles win arguments, numbers win seats. While Khupe unarguably brings regional relevance and gender balance, the politics on the ground are still too conservative for women, without grassroots support out of the ordinary, and Bell for that matter. While it is tribalistic and patriarchal, unfortunately, these dynamics cannot be ignored in Zimbabwe today. I, for one, consistently advocate for the breakdown of tribal and gender prejudices. Chamisa has proved he has grassroots support out of the ordinary, next only to Sven Right. Chamisa has the charisma, next only to Sven Right. He has used these to his utmost advantage. The main motivation in advancing Chamisa's ascendancy to the detriment of Khupe is that the battlefield at the moment requires numbers more than principles, and arguably it has always been like that, especially in an election year. ZANU-PF afforded to chase Mujaru and Cabal en masse in 2014 citing principles. It was not an election year. ZANU-PF chased Ed and retargeting his Cabal en masse, citing principle infringements. It was not an election year. They could afford to do that and still have ample time to recover. That is why Chamisa tried all to engage the good lady. In all her years in labor activism and political gaming, with the two assumed as one and same in the introduction of this article, Madame Khupe ought to have learned that life in general does not follow its own textbook rules many a time. Khupe ought to know that at this juncture, the MDC needs a political win and not a legal or constitutional one. The MDC and all its cadres ought to know that they are better together than separate. They need each other. With Khupe now shown the door, she will go with her regional relevance credentials, character, and gender balance clout. Ours being a society fraught with politics of personality and tribal temper, Khupe will go with people. BT was big like Khupe, but he went without people. Khupe will go with people. This is beyond individuals now, it has become regional and tribal. Lovemore Moyo's resignation, himself a top official albeit with little grassroots base outside Matabeleland, no doubt adds moral compass to regional dissatisfaction. Chamisa, confident in his support base, had little to fear nor lose to agree that a Congress be organized to elect leadership. Khupe had advocated for a special Congress, tacitly citing if she lost she will give Chamisa her blessings. After all, Albert Utah on Star FM admitted it would not take more than 3 days to gather funds for a special Congress. What then was Chamisa afraid of?